I'm Lindsay Hobson. I'm the Communications Manager at ENSTAR Natural Gas Company, and I'm joined here today by Jack Johnson, a Service Tech at ENSTAR. We're going to talk with you about some earthquake safety tips and what you can do after an earthquake to make sure that your natural gas appliances and your meter are working appropriately.
We're going to visit common appliances found in a home and see where we can easily detect a common leak that might occur after an earthquake, and show you how to isolate away said leak or detect it even using this instrument here, your gas meter. Alright, this gas meter here, standard set that you see commonly around all residential homes, has a half-foot dial here. And as you can see, this is the most sensitive dial out of all 5 or 6 dials seen here on this index. And if there was a break downstream in your home or on the outlet side of this meter, this dial would be advancing, and fairly rapidly, depending on the size of the break. Right now, there's no advancement, there's nothing occurring in this home, there's no consumption of any sort, and there's no gas leak downstream. Alright, if you can hear that, this is the sound of normal consumption in a home. A 65,000 BTU water heater, fairly standard in residential homes, is active and consuming right now, making heat, and the drives are turning accordingly with that consumption. That was an example of your fuel piping or your house piping sheared and broken and blowing inside of a home.
Okay, Jack, so you just simulated a broken pipe so that we could see the dial moving. And I also noticed when I walked out here that the smell was really strong. Can you describe that smell and tell us what that is?
Absolutely. So we add odorant to natural gas so that we can identify it easily. Mercaptan is the odorant, and it smells just a lot like rotten eggs. It's kind of indescribable in the sense that once you smell it, you'll know what you're smelling. It's a very strong odor, rotten, and it'll easily grab your attention and know that you need to respond to the emergency.
So Jack, if someone is able to confirm that there is a leak either by hearing it inside or seeing damage to the pipe or seeing the indicator moving here or smelling the gas, what's the next step?
Yeah, any one of those occurs, the next step is to exit your home. We have an isolation on every one of our meter sets, a quarter turn, and the gas is off to the building. Now the next step after that is to call your emergency authorities for response.
So Jack, what if I have detected a leak but I don't have the tool that I need to shut off the valve? What should I do?
If you don't have the tool at the ready, or it's seized, you can't operate it, you don't have one nearby, or just the means to do it in general, you don't need to take this step. Again, exit the home, always call for emergency response, ENSTAR will respond, and we'll act accordingly when we get here.
If I do need to call for an emergency assistance, what number do I call?
1844 smell-gas. You can actually find it on your meter on this sticker right here. 1844 smell-gas, and ENSTAR will respond.
So Jack, if I've determined there's a leak and I turn my gas meter off, can I then turn it back on at a later time?
No, actually, once you turn it off, made the area safe, and called for leak response, only ENSTAR or a qualified contractor can then turn the gas on after they've repaired any damage to the house piping, appliances, or remedied the gas leak inside.
As part of our smell, look, listen checklist that we follow after an earthquake, what are some other types of things that we should be looking for?
Well, okay, well, here's pretty standard mechanical area. The water heater here. These two straps is what displaces the water heater during an earthquake. They're called earthquake straps, for moving back and forth. And if a water heater can move back and forth too much, another common occurrence is for the flue coming off the top of the water heater to be displaced. If the flue is not in its place above the water heater, it will not draft the products of combustion up and out the stack, and then one of the byproducts of combustion, carbon monoxide, can then enter the home. So following an earthquake, we want to make sure that it didn't displace, the flue's in the right spot, not away from the top of the water heater. Your water pipes even have not sheared and water isn't coming in. These are just common things that can occur after a shaker. This here is venting for a direct vent appliance. This happens to be a furnace. Another thing to look for after an earthquake is, has the flue or the combustion air been displaced? If either one of them is not properly connected as designed, it can also lead to byproducts of combustion entering the home. Here above me is a unit heater commonly found in a garage. This is another appliance that you'll want to make sure its flue is connected properly. In the event that your flue has been knocked off or disconnected, do not use the appliance. Isolate the gas to the appliance by using one of the shutoff valves at the appliance. The quarter turn, gas is no longer able to be served to the appliance. All natural gas appliances are required to be equipped with an isolation shutoff. For a range, you have to pull the range forward to then access the isolation shutoff on the floor behind it. This is a natural gas direct vent fireplace, and by code, it also has its own shutoff found here. Another commonly found appliance in a home is a natural gas dryer. Right back here is the gas valve shutoff located behind the dryer. And another thing you'll find back there is the venting for a dryer, which should be of semi-rigid or rigid material and installed to manufacturer's specifications.
So to review, what are the things that we should do after an earthquake when it comes to natural gas safety?
Well, to verify that your home is safe, you're going to use the look, listen, and smell method to verify there's no leak. Check the integrity of your house piping by taking a look at your gas meter, as we saw, and making sure it's not driving rapidly, simulating a break inside. And then look at your appliances and make sure that their flue has not become disconnected and the venting's still intact.